bilis pala maubos ng pera. I realized at that point, I needed to get out because I was depressed. I don't even remember paano ko nabuo yung 70,000 para panimula. Dinala nila ako sa Dole. It was even my birthday. Importante na masaya yung empleyado mo.
Kapag may mga challenges, may mga problems, don't be bitter. Be better. Kung meron kang solution, then you have a business.
Hindi to pera-pera lang. So hindi ko tatanggapin to dahil malaking pera pero pagod na yung mga employees mo.
Welcome back to another episode. Ako ang iyong Kuya E. Bago tayo mag-start, shoutout muna tayo sa ating mga sponsors. Pixie Merch. Kung kailangan mo ng corporate giveaways or printed materials para sa marketing and advertising like flyers, calling cards, or tarpaulin, sila na ang one-stop shop para sa lahat ng company needs mo. Check out Pixie Merch sa Instagram or call 0947-998-4169. Burst Creative Studio. Kung hanap mo ay quality content creation, podcast production, o studio rental, sila na ang partner mo for turning ideas into powerful stories. Check them out at burstcreativestudio.com. Infotext. Kung gusto mong mas mapadali ang communication ng business mo, sila ang go-to platform for bulk SMS solutions, customer engagement, at real-time updates. Check out myinfotext.com para sa hassle-free messaging. Mga kaibigan, let's be real. Ang dami sa ating gustong magtagumpay sa career or negosyo. Pero ang kapalit minsan, burnout, stress, at minsan pati kalusugan natin ang nasasakripisyo. Kaya ang tanong, paano ba mag-excel and stay joyful at the same time? Possible ba talaga yun? Our next guest is living proof na yes, it's possible. Kilala siya as the Joyful Entrepreneur. Isang authentic speaker, corporate trainer, business and wellness coach, at engaging host. Base siya ngayon sa Mandaluyong, pero imagine this, elementary pa lang, nagbibenta na siya ng chocolate candies. At kahit dati, sumasali pa siya sa mga singing contests. Wow! Ngayon, mas kilala siya sa pagbibigay inspirasyon sa mga leaders at entrepreneurs kung paano magtagumpay nang hindi nauubos. He's a former CEO, naging training manager sa BPO at radio host pa dati. At ito pa, retired at age 40. Recognized bilang 2025 mental health leader at isa sa Go Negosyo's most inspiring entrepreneurs. He continues to guide people to achieve peak performance with resilience, wellness, and purpose. Mga kaibigan, please welcome the Joyful Entrepreneur, Jordan Patente. Welcome, Jordan. Kumusta?
Better than good.
Yes, better than good. So, dito sa mga journey mo, no, dito nga sa introduction, paano nag-start to? Ano yung career mo before being an entrepreneur and ano yung naging journey?
Well, una, Eric, when I graduated, ang hinahabol ko talaga pera. So, gusto ko ng pera, kaya pumasok ako dun sa opportunity na binigay ng BPO. I stayed there for 11 years.
Tagal din.
Matagal. Pero dalawang companies lang yun, ha?
Wow, 11 years na ng companies. And related ba yung course mo dun sa career? Or
Hindi, kasi Com Arts yung aking course.
Okay.
Pero parang it's money over passion.
Okay.
That was the decision before.
So maaga pa lang talagang alam mo na yung gusto mo.
Pera.
Wala
Wala nang
naman
iba.
yata gusto mo. Pera.
Yes,
okay,
yes.
okay. And then, what happened?
After that, it was siguro turning 33 when I've decided na gusto kong mag-retire ng mas maaga. Siyempre, exposure, marami akong mga negosyo, mga side hustles during the time that I was an employee. Pero, I also have to consider na hindi talaga posible na itong pangarap ko na maging mayaman kaagad. Lagi ako nagmamadali. And so, ang dami kong mga exposures din sa mga books and all that. So may manabasa ako na, pwede naman pala, pero you can't do it while you are an employee. And so I decided na lumabas talaga sa BPO.
So yung decision na yun, from being an employee sa isang BPO to doing your own business, ano yung mga naging deciding factors na nasabi mo, okay, it's time? Parang gano'n.
Well, una, malaking factor yung, kasi sa trabaho ko before as a training manager, ang dami kong mga tasks, ang dami kong deliverables, ang daming tao na kailangang i-handle, tapos they have to go through series of trainings. Malaki kasi yung nangyari sa company before there was a merger. And so, nagkakaroon ako ng hives. Yung kate-kate.
Sa stress?
Actually, hindi nga ma-point out ng mga doctors kung ano ba yung source noon. They could only think of stress. And at that point, even if I was young at that time, talagang stress ako.
Okay. So, yun yung naging, eto na talaga, kailangan ko ng palitan kung ano yung ginagawa ko.
Tama. So,
Okay.
lifestyle change din. Tsaka, syempre, yun na nga parang maski na ang dami mong dinideliver, you're being productive, parang kulang.
May cap.
Yes,
May
merong limit.
Yun yung challenge kapag employed ka.
Yes.
Na merong cap. Kahit sabihin mo binigay mo ng lahat, hindi ka na natutulog.
Yun na talaga yun.
May cap siya lagi.
Yes,
Okay.
yes. So yun. After that, ang una kong pinasok ay network marketing.
Okay.
So I'm really glad na dun sa network marketing company yun, marami akong natutunan. Kasi before, suplado talaga ako. Hindi ako salesman. Hindi ako, siguro may charm ako ng konti ngayon. pero hindi katulad ng before, dry talaga ako.
Okay.
Tsaka I have lots of pride. Kasi syempre you're in management position, tapos you're being asked for approvals and all that. Nung lumabas ako doon, yung sa network marketing, kailangan marunong kang makisama maski sa mga security guards, sa mga naglilinis. So isa yan sa malaking factor kung bakit sa tingin ko mas madali na akong makapag-relate sa maraming tao ngayon bilang negosyante.
So na-train ka doon sa business na yon. Dahil doon sa network marketing business na yon, na-train ka to how to be more relatable, kumbaga.
Relatable, tsaka that's one. Plus, one big learning that I got from that phase of my life was I got rock bottom. So after that, kasi syempre nagsisave up ka, di ba? Para kung anong gagawin mo after employment, which I did. Tapos yung savings ko, ang bilis pala maubos ng pera. I realized nung nasa network marketing ako, una, hindi naman ako sanay talaga na nagbebenta o kaya yung very pushy in terms of getting members or yung pagbebenta ng produkto. So that's not my cup of tea at that time. So I remember, imbis na magsisi ako, I just took in all the learnings and knowledge, no regrets at all. Pero syempre, nag-rock bottom ka So umabot talaga ako sa point na kapag lumabas ka na sa employment, parang ayaw mo nang bumalik di ba? Wala, I have to go back. And in the spirit of continuous learning, I had to go back una sa banking industry to pursue sales.
Okay.
Kasi para in line dun sa network marketing career ko.
Okay.
So yun yung naging transition ko noon. Then after nung sa bank, gumaganda yung career ko pa rin kasi just so that you know, parang 50% lang yung salary ko yung sa bank compared nung nasa BPO ako. But I took it because I'm a learner and I'm still being paid.
Yes.
Maski na nagdi-negative ako. Syempre, these are the concepts na natutunan natin sa libro, syempre pati dun sa network marketing na yon, di ba? And so, nung time na rock bottom ka, tapos you're building a career, I still want to stick to my goal of retiring at 40. And so, habang busy ako, tapos bagong lipat din kami ng bahay, nag-create ako ng business na concept na until now ay tuloy-tuloy pa rin naman. And I guess that's the reason why I'm still living the life that I'm living right now.
Anong business concept at paano mo nabuo yung concept na yun?
Una, ang nabuo yung konsepto kasi syempre bagong lipat ka tapos yung yaya mo biglang nagpaalam. Tapos marami kaming aso, 4. So I had to do the cleaning in the morning before going to work and then pagbalik ng bahay. Ayoko ng kalyo pero nagkakalyo ako ng time na yon. So, Eric, imagine nagpe-present ako like this sa kliyente kasi sa bangko ako, di ba? Nagkukut-kut ako ng kalyo. Sabi ko, lintik na kalyo to. Hindi talaga unacceptable. And so, I had a problem. And the problem, I thought na, sa tingin ko, kung ako may condo dweller, may problema, maliit lang yung space, wala kang makuwang yaya, mahirap na rin kumuha ng mga kasambahay na trusted ngayon. Naisip ko, kung problema ko to, problema ng kapitbahay ko to. So I thought of putting up a cleaning services na company. It is on-call base. Which means, hindi yung typical na 24/7 kasama mo sila. If you need them for a few hours, that's the time window na they'll come in to do the cleaning. After that, aalis na sila. And the next time you need them, they come back. So I started there. And the rest is history. It's turning 9 years. The business is turning 9 years now.
Wow, galing. And how did you get, kasi sa mga businesses, pag nag-start sila, so it started with the concept,
Yeah.
started with your problem, yung next challenge is how do you get customers? Paano mo nakuha yung first few customers mo?
Una, bibigyan muna kita ng malaking konsepto, and that is if you're so in dire need to get back up on your feet, di ba? You'll do everything.
Okay.
So walang hindi mo alam, walang mahirap. So dahil dun sa konsepto na yon na kailangan ko nanggigigil ako na makabalik, di ba? Na bumalik yung savings and all that. I studied kung nasaan ba yung kliyente namin. So syempre una sa building namin, nag-offer kami ng cleaning services. And then nung time na yon nag-start na syempre si Messenger, si Facebook, at yung iba pang social media platform. Viber hindi pa masyado. I remember WeChat.
Okay. May WeChat pa.
Yeah.
Ginagamit ng time.
And on the record, nakakatuwa kasi si WeChat, mostly may mga bastos. No. So, baski yun, o-offeran ko yun. Kasi nga, in dire need of client. Okay. So, minsan sinasabi nila, so pagka-linis, happy ending ba? May mga ganong naghahanap. O di syempre, hindi mo papatulan yun. But only goes to show na lahat gagawin ko para lang makakuha ng customer. So, lo and behold, from then on, syempre pa konti-konti. But you know, Eric, never akong nag-abono dun sa negosyo na to. I only started, you have to remember na rock bottom ako. I don't even remember paano ko nabuo yung 70,000 para panimula, startup capital ko. And ever since, never akong nag-abono para sa mga sahod ng mga tao. Month over month, ang aming sales ay pataas. Never na nag-drop or nag-dip. And until now, it's been 3 years that I've been away in the company. It's always growing. So, sobra talaga yung provision na yun.
Galing. So, aside from getting your first customers, yung isa ring challenge, lalo sa ganitong business na service-based, very dependent ka sa tao, di ba? Sa staff mo. Paano ka nag-start doon sa pag-hire ng mga first few staff mo?
Ang una, ang gusto ko talaga, ang konsepto ay yung mga kasambahay na mga pupunta sa ibang bansa as OFW, I wanted them to stay at home. And so, ang target ko, mga kasambahay talaga from abroad. So, we started there. In fact, they started na mga naka-stay-in. Mayroon kaming mga double decks for them. Tapos ako. And then, now, it has changed a lot. Kasi
kasama ka dun sa stay-in?
Buti hindi naman. Buti hindi naman kasi very small lang yung office ko dun nasa 23rd floor yon, ang bahay ko is nasa 3rd floor. So,
paano mo
convenient. I asked for referral, I posted in social media as well. Gumagana na rin nung time na yon. So yun.
So instead na mag-OFW sila, sa'yo na lang, di ba?
That's the concept.
Same income naman, same time control, di ba?
That's right. And then near sa family pa din naman nila. But of course, it has changed. Dahil ngayon, most of the time are talagang yung regular employee na talaga sila. Na 9 to 5 na yung work nila. And then, apart from that, kahit sino na lang yung nangangailangan ng trabaho na una mahilig sa kalidad ng cleaning service, yun, we train them. So ngayon, marami-rami na sila ngayon at hindi na rin ganun kahirap maghanap.
Galing Na-mention mo yung training. Isa rin yun. So meron kang customers, meron kang staff, nakapag-hire ka. Siyempre yung staff, kailangan mo i-train.
Oh yeah.
So paano mo tinrain? Dahil sa mga kalyo mo ba yun experience? Sino yung parang naging expert trainer mo or how did you do that?
I'm actually, I myself is the worst customer of the company. Kasi I'm very critical, tsaka masyado akong mabusisi pagdating sa cleanliness. OC ako So I use that to my advantage. And so kapag may mga training na kailangan i-conduct, I study them. After all, yun naman yung linya ko, di ba, sa BPO. So I'll study them and then I'll run them over to my staff. Pero kailangan mo syempre medyo practical or layman's term yung mga gagamitin mo para maintindihan. Kasi ang difference when I was in the management position, tapos BPO pa, English, di ba? Oo. Buti na lang, dahil dun sa network marketing, natuto akong makapag-usap sa mga
Tagalog.
Sobrang Tagalog at layman's. Oo. I never expected, hanggang ngayon, tinatanong ko, bakit ako binigyan ng ganong klaseng blessing na sila yung mga empleyado. So yun, nung time na yun, naitawid naman natin yun. So,
galing. And speaking of tawid, no, alam ko sa mga businesses, laging may mga challenges. And hindi exempted siguro yung business mo. Ano yung mga naging challenges dun sa business and paano mo sila na lampasan?
Una, ang top of mind ngayon, isa na dun yung maski na may puso ka para sa negosyo, meron ka ding purpose, Kasi gusto ko i-dignify yung kabuhayan ng mga naglilinis. I don't call them cleaners nga. We call them cleaning officers. So I wanted them to have that feeling na, uy, officer ako. But despite the fact that you wanted to give everything to them, may mga point talaga na hindi mo mapiplease lahat. I clearly remember, I'm not proud, but I'm happy that it happened. Dinala nila ako sa Dole. It was even my birthday. Para yun ang unang meeting. So alam mo yung stress yung concept na, okay, binigay mo na lahat di ba? Tapos yung mga alam mo, sinishare mo naman sa kanila and yet they don't appreciate you. Needless to say, wala naman nangyari kasi hindi naman siya naging kaso. It's just a meeting para pag-usapan yung mga indifferences.
Or
yung
mga misunderstanding lang.
Yes, oo. But I could also tell you as early as now na for most of them, na feel nila na, yung term nga nila was, para kaming tinatratong kalabaw na kailangan hindi nawawala ng, or hindi ka napapagod, something like that. It has something to do with my mindset at that time, and at the same time, parang I wanted to elevate everybody's performance and all that without considering na, nga pala, yung pinanggalingan ng mga tao kasama ko ngayon, hindi naman yung ka-level ko na before pa.
Na may talagang performance yung nahabol.
That's right. Oo. So, I'm sharing it. Hindi ako nahihiya kasi if not for that, I don't think a lot of things will change. So ngayon, obviously, wala naman ako doon. Pero even before that, nasimulan na rin namin na ayusin yung mga pamamaraan, tsaka kung what other things can we do for them. Importante na masaya yung empleyado mo. Kasi ako nun parang as long as we're earning, as long as we're professional, parang laging ganun ang standard ko, professional. Pero yung happiness, yung joy, hindi ko yung priority before. So ngayon, iba na. Pati pag nagdi-discuss ako, dati laging gigil lang sa training. Kasi parang masyado kang goal-oriented, competitive, di ba? Pero ngayon, syempre, i-minor mo na yan, depende sa kausap mo.
Wow, grabe. And di ba meron silang iba-ibang principles? Merong keep your employees happy or keep your customers happy. Nasaan ka doon? In between ba or both? Or?
Lahat yon kailangan balanse. Hindi pwedeng merong naiiwan. Alam mo, bilang isang negosyante, mahirap talagang i-balance out lahat ng mga key performance indicators mo, di ba? But you really have to. You have to deliver. Kasi ako din yung klase ng negosyante na hindi to pera-pera lang. So hindi ko tatanggapin to dahil malaking pera pero pagod na yung mga employees mo. Maski ganun yung mindset ko, nako-complain nga ako. Di ba? What more kung pera-pera lang ang usapan, di ba? So there.
Okay. And na-mention mo na 3 years ka nang out, parang hindi involved masyado doon sa business na yun.
Ngayon.
Paano yung transition na yun? Paano mo nagawa yun?
Una, dahil may pangarap ka, syempre, na mag-retire ka, and I'm sure you're very much aware of that goal, di ba? It happened even before. Kasi yung klase ng pagiging negosyante ko, mahilig kasi akong mag-check ng mga latest Nung time na magpa-pandemic, magla-lockdown, imbis na makalipad ako for an R&R, it didn't happen. So I was bitter. So yung aking bitterness turned into the concept na mag-aaral ako. So nakapaglabas kami ng disinfecting service a month before the lockdown. So needless to say, naging maganda yung negosyo kaya maagang retirement ako.
Okay.
So there. And then 3 years, ano yung transition to your question? It wasn't that difficult because at that point, I needed to get out because I was depressed. So depressed na ako kasi sobrang pagod, lahat. Alam mo yun, nag-accumulate na lang lahat ng mga stresses mo. Tapos you've been suppressing those stresses kasi kailangan ma-meet natin to o kaya maganda pa rin yung negosyo maski dumaan yung pandemic. So I was really stressed and so I wanted to stop. Kaya it wasn't really difficult to stop. So but when I stopped, ang concept, una, wala akong exit strategy. Ako yung mahilig magplano, pero hindi ko nagawa yun. Kasi nga, stress ako. Depressed ako at that time. That's one. Second, I needed to go through healing process. So that was a priority when I got out of the business.
So, yun yung priority. Pero, paano nagstay na in operation pa rin yung business kahit nag-exit ka? Paano mo na-turn over or paano bang nangyari?
Right. Una, I'm glad na nagpaka-empleyado ako sa umpisa kasi na-realize ko na mahilig ako sa structures talaga.
Okay.
So I love to create documents and processes. So nadala ko yon. In fact, ako ang...
You mean from yung BPO mo na career?
From BPO.
Okay.
Tapos, nung nag-put up ako ng business na to, the company name is Clean Zone PH. Ang aking mindset by then was, I wanted this to be a franchisable kind of business. So in less than a year, I was able to launch it. In fact, tayo ang kauna-unahan sa Pilipinas na nakapag-launch ng franchise ng on-call cleaning services.
Wow.
So, yung background, yung foundation ng negosyo, dahil nga franchisable ito, it's duplicatable. Galing din yun sa network marketing na concept, diba? Because it's duplicatable, I could easily pass it on to someone. And my partner took over, and hanggang ngayon nandun pa rin yung mga foundations na nilayout natin at ini-improve na lang nila.
Wow, grabe. Grabe. Daming learnings. Thank you very much, Jordan. So for this week, no, ating learnings, highlights ng ating discussion. One is habang employed ka, make sure that you learn, no? Learn everything. Like yun nga, na-mention mo na yung systems, yung process, and so on. Nagamit mo siya from the BPO time hanggang ngayon sa business at naging franchise siya, naging duplicatable siya, no? At na-apply yon. Second is, kahit rock bottom, no? Hindi ka dapat nag-stay dun sa rock bottom na yon. It's actually an opportunity para mag-increase ka pa, no? Go up from that rock bottom and do everything. Ang karamihan kasi, rock bottom na sila tapos namimili pa. Hihikan pa sila. Well, you'll talagang stay rock bottom kapag ganon. So pag rock bottom ka na, wala ka nang dapat pinipili pa. Do everything that is needed to be successful. And nung nag-start ng business si Jordan, it started from solving his own problem. And kayo rin, kung nag-isip kayo ng business, start solving your own problem. Kasi kung naging problema mo yun, malamang yun nga, yung kapitbahay mo, kaibigan mo, kamag-anak, no? Baka problema rin nila yun. And kung meron kang solution, then you have a business. Know your advantage. Kung ano man yung sinasabi nilang weakness mo, OC, for example, it can also turn into an advantage. No? And very important, kapag may mga challenges, may mga problems, don't be bitter. No? Be better. Di ba?
Tama, Kuya
So,
E.
Sir Jordan, kapag kailangan nila ng iyong services or coaching, how do they contact you?
If you wanna reach out to me, so please go to jordanpatente.com. That's our website. Tapos nandun po tayo sa mga social media. Either you look up The Joyful Entrepreneur or Jordan Patente.
So, bago tayo mag-closing, alam nyo naman, dito sa Kuya E, hindi lang puro business and tech. Kailangan may inspiration din. Kaya gusto ko i-share sa inyo itong verse from Proverbs 14:26. He who respects the Lord will have a secure fortress. And by fortress, it can be your house, it can be your business. Great. Thank you, Sir Jordan.
Thank you, Kuya E.
Galing. Thank you so much for watching this episode. Kung gusto nyo pa ng mas maraming learnings, good vibes, at good news, make sure to like and follow us on Facebook, TikTok, and Instagram. At syempre, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel para lagi kang updated sa mga next nating kwento. Kita-kits ulit sa susunod na episode. Dito lang sa show na hatid ay good news.